together in March in about 3 days with the help of a lot of people, and we promised after that meeting that we would come back after the school year and kind of share some of the things we've learned, talk about maybe some ideas that came out of the brainstorming that we did and the questions that we had, and also, include some more voices from our teams. So that's what we're here today for. And when we kind of debriefed on what we had learned, and we're thinking about what's actionable, what can we do as an individual, what can we do as a community that's not, changing private insurance or something that's, a little bigger than we can do. And I really started thinking about some of the stories that were shared, some of the conversations I had with the panelists around language and words and how that really builds a culture. So we want to try to, tonight, kind of open up everyone's minds to the importance of language, words, the culture, and trying to create a culture here in our community of wellness. So we're not talking about mental health or illness or problems. We're talking about everyone's wellness, because mental health is part of healthcare, right? It's something we all need. So in that spirit, we're going to talk to a couple of people here that want to share stuff that we've been doing. We're going to talk to some teens who are going to give us some feedback on, maybe what we're not understanding or what we could do better. And then we encourage everyone to kind of look at some opportunities for how we can start turning this awareness into actionable items. So I'm going to hand it over to Angel. She's going to share some things.
You're really good with not having notes. I have only 2 pages this time. Last time I think it was like 10. So I'm going to start off by looking back, right? There's been a lot that this community has gone through in the last few years. And even since the last time we've met, we have lost, I think, at least 1, if not 2 children within our county. So we're dealing with a lot here. And what can we do, right? So first, what have we learned when we started talking about this? And we've actually invited some of our community partners tonight to come tell us what they've learned and experienced in the last few months. So I'm gonna start with Mr. McGregor. If you wanted to come up or stand there, whatever is easiest for you, sir.
A little bit about what we've learned?
Yeah.
Oh, great. So hi everybody, Aaron McGregor, Superintendent. Nice to see everybody. Thanks for being here and just being part of this conversation. We're gonna be part of this. I think what, reflecting back on the last few months, things that we are looking forward to as we move into next year. A couple things. One, staffing. So we have increased in mental health staff in the district. If you're not aware, we have a mental health coordinator, mental health specialist at each of our secondary schools. We added another one to our Innovation Academy, which is alternative high school. It's housed at Southeast, if you're not aware of where that is. Also just got approved at the board meeting, mental health coordinator to coordinate those individuals in the buildings in terms of around mental health for our kids. And then the other thing I would say is we're gonna bring forward what's called School Blue Envelope, and it's a training for our staff. And again, I think the reflection that we've had is I feel like we have really good, I'm going to use some educational language right now, but Tier 1, Tier 2, Tier 3. Tier 2 and Tier 3 are kind of those next levels of support in terms of beyond maybe classroom or beyond an individual having a conversation with a teacher, and how do we get that extra support at Tier 2 and Tier 3. I feel like we have really good supports in place. We need to do a better job in terms of how kids access that, how are they aware of those supports. But I think those things we feel really good about. What we need to do a better job with is equipping our teachers, our bus drivers, our kitchen staff, employees, with tools in terms of how to respond to our students who might come to them as a trusted adult and say, hey, I'm having a hard time, and having those adults equipped with knowledge and information in terms of how to respond to that. So School Blue Envelope, I might lean to Kelsey here in a second just to explain a little bit about that. That's the intent, is that we're gonna put all of our staff, when I say all of our staff, not just teachers, all of our staff through that training. It's gonna take the course of next year to do that just because we have a lot of staff. We have almost 700 staff in the district. To again, equip them with some knowledge and skills around how do we help out our youth who might be struggling. So those are staffing, and then again, training for our staff are 2 things that we're moving into heavily as we look into next year. And thanks for being here. I want to continue to come together because I do think we are one facet
Yeah, up next.
Yeah, so I'll just kind of add on to that.
I didn't do a good job introducing Kelsey Combs, our Director of Positive School Culture and Kindness in the district.
Yeah, thank you. So I also want to back up too and just say since like the spring and for the last 3 years, we have had a student wellness subcommittee that meets regularly and has been talking about how to strengthen our student mental health and wellness supports across the district. We really expanded our membership of that committee in the spring and brought in, board members, more students, more parent perspectives, suicide prevention experts, mental health experts in the community and in our schools, to really look at the strengths of our district and also the weaknesses and opportunities and where we can grow. And so both of those things that Dr. McGregor mentioned kind of came out of that committee's recommendations. And in addition to that, we're also going to be really pouring into how do we create environments of belonging across our district and in our classrooms, and providing teachers with like lots of opportunities to continue to strengthen their skills in that area. We know we have so many professionals across the district who do that naturally and do that well, and we also know that sometimes that experience happens in pockets, and we want to expand that so that all students feel that connectedness. And we're going to continue to support our Hope Squad that exists at our high school and in our middle schools at 8th grade, and to continue to support that programming, and because that's our peer-to-peer program, and that's essential. Like, I think when it comes to what we've learned, I think time and time again, I have just learned the importance of like peers supporting peers, and also like supporting our teachers and the adults that students are more likely to go to first when they're having a hard time or when they need a little extra support, or like who are the adults who recognize that early. And I just want to echo too, like, we very much recognize that we're one piece of the puzzle, and I think something I've learned also through this experience is the outpouring of support and collaboration and resources and knowledge that we've received both in the local community but even statewide and across the country has just been really encouraging. So we're going to continue to lean into those relationships and strengthen those relationships so that we can better support our students here in Howell.
Thank you.
And then next, I'd like